Yeah. So anyhow, let me continue. Still 3 to 4 students has to join. See, last just I started wave optics, and in wave optics, three important things are covered. So one is the meaning of wavefront, and other one is Huygens principle. Okay. So wavefront means we know the locus of all points which are vibrating in the same phase of vibration, we can call it as a wavefront. Clear?
Yes, sir.
And Huygens principle also, we know that according to Huygens principle, each point on a wavefront behaves like a secondary source of disturbance and produces wavefronts in forward direction. Means Huygens studied only forward direction of wavefronts. Of course, backside also possible, but he studied and he explained only forward direction of wavefronts. No doubt each wavefront will move with a speed of light. Okay, if you draw the tangent on each wavefront, the tangents will give one more new wavefront. Okay, we can call it as wavelet also. Okay, and by using Huygens principle, we verified law of reflection. Clear the diagram?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let us verify law of refraction. Okay, generally we use Huygens wave theory to study the wave nature of light. Actually, some stories are there. I think you know Newton corpusculars theory in lower classes. Anyone remembered Newton corpusculars theory?
No, sir.
Okay, let me speak few words. Okay, no need to write anywhere, just listen and leave it. See, actually there are 4 theories of light: Newton's corpuscular theory, Huygens wave theory, okay, and Max Planck quantum theory. Okay, some other theories also there, Maxwell electromagnetic wave theory. There are 4 theories of light to study the properties and nature of light. According to Newton corpusculars theory, light propagates in the form of a straight line. Listen and leave it. Okay, light propagates in the form of a straight line, and light emits particles called as small particles called as, what are the small?
Corpuscles.
Yeah, corpuscles. No doubt the corpuscles will move with a speed of light and in a straight line direction. According to Newton's concept, the speed of light in denser medium is greater than rarer medium, but that was proved wrong by Huygens. Okay, next Huygens entered. Okay, so tell me once, can you give some words related by what? Related by what is that word? Related to, yeah, someone, Tanisha, raise the question.
Sir, yesterday diagrams, can you give some words, sir? Sir, you told
Words you want?
yes, sir.
I'll send one copy to you. For everyone it is useful, okay? Shall I send a copy for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Because yesterday I think you got the clarity of the diagram.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Don't worry, I'll send some copy to you, everyone. I will send in a our group. You try to note it down, okay? Because diagram is clear, but you are expecting some words like what I am teaching. That words you are expecting, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll continue. Next, okay, I will send today. And see, according to Newton corpusculars theory, the speed of light in denser medium, they said greater than rarer medium. Later on, that was proved wrong by Huygens. Okay, for Huygens also, he imagined one medium. You know anyone medium name? Ether. Hear the word anywhere? This story is not there in present syllabus, leave it. But Huygens imagined a hypothetical medium present in the universe. Because of that medium, light propagates in the form of a wave. Why? Because to propagate the wave from one place to another place, a medium is required or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what is the name of the medium means? He used a name called as ether. Ether, he thought that everywhere it is there. Because of the ether, light is propagating in the form of a wave. Okay, later on he proved speed of light in a rarer medium is greater than denser medium. and he proved that light waves are transverse in nature, but he is unable to explain why they are longitudinal. Okay, so he explained only the transverse nature of light. Okay, so he explained the wave nature of light. Okay, so the stories are there. Right now the stories are removed, so no need to worry. Now let me continue our topic. Write down the heading: refraction of light. So refraction of a plane wave front. Write down. Reflection covered yesterday. Continue the syllabus. Refraction of a plane wave front by using Huygens principle. Write down. Are you writing the heading? Respond anyone?
Yes, sir. Sir.
Refraction of plane wave front. Refraction of plane wave front. Refraction of plane wave front. Plane wave front by using Huygens principle. Huygens principle. You write in brackets Snell's law of refraction. In brackets Snell's law of refraction. Don't worry, these two topics I will send in the evening Xerox. Okay, I will send you in the group. Here I am going to cover the diagram. Listen my words carefully, leave some space. Whenever I am sending a Xerox copy to you, you write that words. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, listen.
Yes, sir.
Reflection of plane wave front by using Huygens principle. Okay, see, we know plane wave front. Let us consider a plane wave front is strikes the interface separating the two mediums. Plane wave front strikes the interface separating the two mediums. Now let us suppose this is the interface xy. Consider an interface xy separating two mediums. This medium is 1, medium 1 refractive index n1. This is medium 2 refractive index n2. Draw the diagram. Now a plane wave front is coming from infinity. You know that the small portion of a spherical wave front can be considered as a plane wave front.
Plane wave front.
Yeah. Now plane wave front is coming from infinity, strikes the interface separating the two mediums. Medium 1 of refractive index n1, medium 2 of refractive index n2. Now let us suppose it is coming from somewhere. Let me draw. This is the plane wave front. Yeah. Now the direction of the plane wave front is looks like this. This arrow marks gives direction of plane wave front. Clear? Wave front is coming in this way. This is A, B. Clear up to now? In a last class, this wave front is reflected. Okay, but here it should be refracted. Why? Because medium is changing or
Medium is different.
yeah. Now draw a normal. Try to follow along with me. Draw the normal. What is this? Angle of
Incidence.
angle of incidence. This is I, this is 90 minus I, this is also angle of incidence. Use geometry correctly now. Now it consists of so many particles. Each and every particle is behaves like a, according to Huygens principle, each point on a wave front AB, each point on a wave front AB behaves like a secondary source of disturbance and produces wave fronts in forward direction. Okay. So each and every point on a wave front behaves like what? Secondary source of disturbance. Now first particle at A will strikes. So it will undergo refraction. It will undergo refraction. Let us suppose it undergo refraction with the angle of refraction R. Clear? By that time, where is the particle at B? Particle at A strikes the surface. Undergo refraction. Yes, clear. But in this time, where is the particle at B? Particle at B is still in no, we cannot say error medium, N1 medium.
N1 medium.
Okay, Okay, you can feel that this is rarer medium, this is denser medium, that's not a problem. Okay, that's better. Rarer, denser. Okay, this is also good. So this particle will take some time to reach this surface. Let us suppose after t seconds the particle at B reaches the C. Are you following? After t seconds the particle at B strikes the C. After t seconds the particle at B strikes at C. What is the distance travelled by BC? Vt, velocity of light into time.
VC, sir.
Velocity into time, Vt. So medium is changing. Velocity in a first medium is V1. Velocity in a first medium is V1. Time is t. So after t seconds, particle at B reaches the C. After t seconds, this particle undergo refraction. Got my point? And in this time, particle at A travels how much distance? In the same time interval. For example, after 2 seconds, particle at B strikes C. After 2 seconds, particle at B strikes C, travel the distance of V1t. In the same 2 seconds, this particle at A covers how much distance?
V2T.
Very good. So V2t. V2t. What is that V2t?
Distance travel.
Distance travelled by the particle at A when it strikes the interface. Okay. In this time, if it reaches here, in the same time interval, it has to cover V2t.
distance.
V2t distance. Okay. Take this V2t. Take this V2t as a radius with A as a center. Take this V2t as a radius with A as a center. Draw an arc in the second medium. Take this V2t as a radius. Okay, let us suppose it will come up to here. Okay, now let me draw an arc with A as a center. With A as a center. Just this is an arc. Clear? Take V2t as a radius with A as a center. Then I drawn an arc with A as a center. Radius of the arc how much?
V2T.
V2t. Then draw a tangent from C that has to touches the D. Draw the tangent. Just I draw a tangent from where to where? Tangent from C that has to touches D. So this particle reaches D. By that time particle at B reaches
C.
C. And see, this one is the refracted wavefront. Okay, this is the refracted wavefront. Okay, and no doubt it refracted like this with angle of refraction R. If this is R, this is 90 minus R. If this is R, this is 90 minus R. What is this? This is R. This is 90 minus R. How much this one?
R, sir.
R. Okay? R. Okay. This is a C. Clear diagram? Check it once again, everyone.
Yes.
Okay. Now, let me use these two triangles. Angle BAC, how much? I. Angle DCA is R. For this right angle, almost right angle, this is 90 degrees. Tangent I drawn means 90 degrees. Okay. This is also 90 degrees. Tell me, what is the sin I from triangle BAC? Sin I. Sin I is equals to opposite is this is 90. Okay, you feel correctly. Yeah. B
V1T by AC.
V1T by AC. From triangle, let me do, this is 90 degrees, okay, ACD, okay.
V22 by AC.
What is the triangle name? Tell me. A
DC.
DCA na? Okay. A C D or DCA, because this is 90. Okay. Sin R. Sin R. Can anyone? Sin R.
D by AC.
V2 D by AC. Now sin I by sin R is equals to V1T by AC, V2T by AC. Tell me how much you are getting? Sin I by sin R, V1 by sin I by sin R, how much you are getting?
V1 by V2.
V1 by V2. Clear?
Sir.
Yeah. And this can be written as sin I by sin R, V1 by V2. Shall I write N2 by N1? Remember,
Yes, sir.
V1 by V2 is N2 by N1. Let me write here. Is it visible left side, this side?
Visible.
Yeah. Now tell me the next step. N1 sin I is equals to,
Into sin R.
what is this? This is nothing but what? Snell's law of refraction. Snell's law of refraction. Okay. Yeah, unmute someone. Some disturbance is coming. So Snell's law of refraction. Just this is the verification of Snell's law of refraction by using Huygens wave theory. Let me repeat. Consider a plane wavefront AB, which is incident on interface separating two mediums. Okay, separating two mediums whose refractive indexes are N1 to N2, N1 and N2. Sumuk, unmute yourself. Yeah. Now, here, as the particulate A entered into the second medium, by that time particulate B in still air. After t seconds, this particle reaches the C, and the distance travelled by the particle in this time is V1T. In the same time interval, particle at A also travelled a distance of V2T in second medium. Take this V2T as a radius with A as a center. Draw an arc around A. Just I drawn. After that, draw a tangent from C that has to touch the arc. Then this tangent represents, what is this tangent represents? Tangent represents
Wavefront.
refraction wavefront. If this is R, this is also R. Use the sin I formula here, sin R formula here, sin I by sin R. Which one? For this one, this is 90 degrees, no? Sin R opposite is AD. This is 90.
Yes, sir.
Sin R, what is opposite angle? Opposite side?
AD by AC.
AD by AC. What is AD? What is AD?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Anything wrong?
No, sir.
AD is nothing but V2D, no? V2T. Clear. So this is the Snell's law of refraction by using Huygens wave theory. So these two words means I'll send you. Okay, diagrams are clear, everyone?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Diagrams are clear means the words I will send you in the group. Now only I will send, okay? After the class.
Yes, sir.
Draw the diagram clearly. Okay, this is from where to where? Refraction from where to where? Rarer to
Done, sir.
denser. Okay, you open the NCERT, they give an opposite diagram also. denser to rarer also they given. You try to do that, right? Okay, at home. Now let me do one more. Yeah, written this one everyone, diagram everything. I will send the words in a group. Shall I rub it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Write as a one note point. Only formulas are useful to solve some problems. Yeah, before that, let us see what happens when plane wave front incident on prism. Okay, some general questions. In schedule I didn't mention, but from NCERT let me teach. Let us suppose a plane wave front is incident on prism surface. See, this is the prism whose refractive index is n. Okay, this is the medium. If a plane wave front is incident on the prism surface, let us see how it will come. This is the direction. Okay, you have to draw a straight line like this. If you want, you draw a straight line. See, what is this?
Wavefront.
Plane wave front. Now, each point on a wave front is behaves like a secondary source of disturbance. First this will enter here. This will enters here. It will travel more. See, it will travel more distance in the medium. If you take this part, this particulate here will travel less distance in medium or more distance in medium.
Less distance.
See, this particle on a wave front, strikes the prism, travels less distance, it takes less time to emerge out. So immediately this particle will come out. And what about the particulate here? This particle, next particle, next particle, next particle. This particle will travel more distance in a medium. It will take more time. Now the emergent wave front looks like this. See, this is the wave front. This particle will come fast. Next particle will come little later. Next, this will take more time. Why this particle will take more time? Because this particle will travel maximum distance in the medium. It will take maximum time. This is optical medium. So this is the nature of wave front. For suppose the same plane wave front is incident on convex lens of suitable focal length. Tell me which part will take more time? Just imagine this one particle, two particle, 3, 4, so many. Particle at bottom or top or at middle?
Middle.
Middle will take more time, no? Why it will take more time? It will travel more distance and it will take more time. Now the emergent ray looks like this. So it will take less time, more time. Now the wave front is like this. Got it? What type of wave front you are getting?
Spherical wavefront.
Spherical wave front. So spherical wave front you will get. Draw the diagram. You try with a concave mirror. You try this one. If a plane wave front is incident on concave mirror, how it will reflect? Can anyone? If a plane wave front incident on concave mirror, it will be reflected as a spherical wave front. Check it once.
Yes, sir, and inverted.
Inverted, no? Now the wave front, once it strikes here, it will be reflected like this.
Yes.
So now plane wave front is turned to be what type of wave front?
Spherical wavefront.
Spherical wave front. Keep in mind. Draw these diagrams. Useful for some one more questions. And one more. Yeah.
One second, I'll try this one.
Which one? Last one? Huh? If a plane wavefront is incident on concave mirror, it will be reflected as a spherical wavefront with concave surface. With what is this one? Is it a concave or a convex?
Concave.
With concave. Concave reflected spherical wavefront.
The left side.
This one, this particle will travel more distance, it will take more time, it will come out after some time, and within this time this particle already crosses this medium, it travels more distance. Now the plane wavefront becomes plane wavefront. Here this particle will take more time because it will cover more optical medium. So finally it will come out as a spherical wavefront. General things, okay, spherical wavefronts. Anyone remembered Doppler effect in waves chapter? Doppler effect. One formula let me cover now according to NCERT. Doppler effect. Can anyone give the definition, meaning? Covered or not Doppler effect?
Covered.
Then what is the Doppler effect? Generally you are using a sound source, no? In a first PUC you are using sound source. Now in a optics, Doppler effect is also possible for optics. Okay, in a optics, instead of sound source we are using light source. Let us suppose, see, just maintain as a note point, this is a light source and some observer is here. In first PUC, what is this? Sound source. Okay, observer, as it is observer only. Okay, here source of light emitter. Okay, light waves in all directions. It will emit light in all directions with frequency of, with wavelength lambda. If both are at rest, observer will observe any change in frequency coming from source of light. If both are at rest, you done already, a train approaches the observer. If a person is in platform, if the train also in platform, if both are at rest, observer hears there is no change in frequency. No change in frequency means no Doppler effect. You know all these things. Now when Doppler effect is possible? Can anyone give? When Doppler effect is possible? Whenever there is, whenever there is a relative motion between source and observer, then the observer will hears or will able to see the change in frequency. Okay, in a first PUC level, observer hears change in frequency of sound. How the change in frequency of sound is possible means, whenever there is a relative motion between observer and source. If both are at rest, observer hears constant frequency coming from source. Constant frequency means no change in frequency, no Doppler effect. Okay, so according to Doppler effect, if this light source, observer, both are at rest, then observer observes constant frequency coming from source. If this is moving towards or away, if this is moving towards the observer, tell me, if the source of light is moving towards the observer, what is increases? Frequency increases. What is the wavelength, gap between the waves? Decreases. Okay, see, let me give the main meaning of Doppler effect. Whenever there is a relative motion, between source of light, their source of sound, between source of light and observer, then observer receives a change in frequency. Observer receives change in frequency. So this phenomenon we can call it as a Doppler effect. Okay, here there are two Doppler effects. First, suppose if the source of light moving towards the observer, then observer receives change in frequency. What is that frequency? Frequency of the light rays increases. Wavelength of the light decreases. For suppose if the source of sound moving away from the observer, tell me fast, observer is at rest, observer is at rest, frequency of sound decreases, wavelength increases. This change in wavelength, change in frequency calculated by Doppler. That change in frequency or change in wavelength, we can call it as the shift. Now here what is increases, what is decreases? If the
Wavelength increases frequency.
if source is moving away from the observer, wavelength of light increases. Generally wavelength of light is maximum for red. Here wavelength is maximum means what? It is possible for what type of color? Wavelength of red will be more. Here wavelength decreases. Generally wavelength is very small for
Violet.
violet is unable to see, so blue. Next immediate color is blue. Indigo also unable to see, so the next colors are blue. Comparing to red, blue will have less wavelength. Okay, instead of writing violet and indigo, we will write as a blue. Blue is the right now least wavelength. Here the shift in this situation, if the source of sound is moving away from the observer, then the shift we can call it as red shift. We can derive this formula also, but no need of derivations. Red shift. So the red shift we can write it as delta lambda is equals to lambda v by c, or delta lambda by lambda is equals to v by c. V is the speed of, so what is that v? V is the speed of light in medium, c is the speed of light in vacuum. Okay, they will give in the medium. And if they ask you to write frequency, delta n by n, frequency minus v by c. Why I am writing minus means, as wavelength increases, frequency delta n, n is frequency, no? What you are using, n or f?
F sir.
F. Okay, here this shift we can call it as blue shift. Blue shift we can write delta lambda, wavelength is decreases, so minus lambda v by c. So delta lambda by lambda is equals to minus v by c. In terms of frequencies, delta f by f plus v by c. So remember these two shifts formulas, red shift and blue shift. So write down for a red shift, right? I will dictate some words. Red shift. If the source of sound, if the source of, sorry, is it sound?
Right sir.
If the source of light moving, if the source of light moving away from the observer, if the source of light moving away from the observer, if the source of light moving away from the observer, then frequency of the light is decreases, of course received by the observer only. Frequency of the light decreases and wavelength of the wave increases. Wavelength of the wave increases. Okay, this increase in wavelength or decrease in frequency, this increase in wavelength or decrease in frequency called as Doppler shift or red shift. This increase in wavelength or decrease in frequency called as Doppler shift or red shift. Red shift. Write the formula. Derivations if you want means I will send you. So no need of derivations. In NCERT only they mention formula. I know derivations according to
Doppler effect is also applicable for the lights also.
which one?
So Doppler effect.
Yeah, that's what I told. No, in a waves, in a mechanics, it is a sound. Doppler effect is applicable for sound and Doppler effect is applicable for light. Both. This is a Doppler effect in light. The main heading for this one is Doppler effect in light. Just as a note, no? Doppler effect in light. Redshift formula written.
Yes.
Similarly, blue shift. What are the words you have tried for blue shift?
If the source of light is moving towards the observer,
Then wave frequency increases, wavelength decreases. This increase in frequency or decrease in wavelength we can call it as a Doppler shift or blue shift. So keep the formula in mind, blue shift. Formula important to solve some problems. Okay. Now next one completed. Yeah. Write down the next important topic from this chapter and listen carefully. Up to now almost like an introduction. Listen carefully. Next one, interference. Listen. Let me give introduction only today. See, there are three concepts in this chapter. Listen carefully now. There are three concepts in this chapter. One is interference, another one is diffraction or diffraction, another one is polarization. Okay, so we are going to learn three main concepts: interference, diffraction, polarization. The most important thing for entrance point of view is interference. Generally every time they will give questions based on interference for your subjective exam and for your objective exam also. Okay, so the important concept is interference. Diffraction also we will try everything. Okay, so generally in a NEET they are not asking much questions on diffraction, but we are going to learn everything. Now let us see what is that interference. So before going to start the interference, let me recall your waves knowledge from first PUC. Waves. In a waves, I think not only in waves, in electrostatics I think you have studied superposition principle. Anyone respond? Superposition principle. Principle of superposition you remembered from electrostatics or from waves chapter from first PUC. Principle of superposition. What is principle of superposition? Can anyone? Principle of superposition. If one or two waves are moving in the same direction, the resultant wave is equal to sum of, remembered or not, sum of individual waves. If two charges are placed here, one F1, one more F2, one more charge F3, F4, according to principle of superposition, net force is equivalent to sum of individual forces or not?
yes sir.
In a electric field also, net electric field is equivalent to sum of individual electric fields. Okay, that is the principle of superposition. According to principle of superposition, the net value is equivalent to sum of individual values. For suppose, let me recall in a first PUC level before going to enter into interference. Let us suppose one wave is moving like this. Okay, no need to write anything in the notes, just listen and leave it. This is one wave with a displacement something y1. One more wave with a displacement y2, both are starts at same point. These are y1, y2 are what? y1, y2 are the individual y1, y2 are the individual displacements of the wave or not?
Yes sir.
Now the resultant wave is looks like this. Okay, if I combine these two, that means what? I think you know the name. This is crest. What is this? If crest, trough are overlaps with each other, then what is the displacement becomes maximum or minimum? Maximum. If crest and trough, crest of one wave, okay, crest of one wave and one more, it starts like this. If crest troughs overlaps with each other, then the displacement of the resultant wave is, I think you know these things in waves chapter from first PUC. Okay, here whenever two or more waves, whenever the two or more waves are moving in the same direction, if they superimpose with each other, what is superimpose? Superimpose nothing but
Coincide.
combined. Okay, if they superimpose with each other, then the resultant intensity or resultant amplitude definitely different from individual amplitude, individual displacement. If crests are overlaps with each other, resultant displacement becomes maximum or minimum? I want to know maximum, minimum. That's it today. Maximum. If crest of one wave overlaps the trough of another wave, resultant displacement is minimum. Now listen carefully. So that is in case of mechanics waves. Okay. Now let us discuss the same thing in optics. So if any two light waves moving in the same direction, if they superimpose with each other, definitely resultant displacement of the wave may be maximum, may be minimum. That means some energy will be transferred. Okay, so some energy will be transferred. If displacement is maximum, amplitude is maximum, then we can say that the two waves are said to be in constructive interference. Hear this word. If resultant displacement is maximum, then the two waves are said to be in constructive interference.
Means the phases will be in the same
Same phase. Yeah. Yeah. Same phase. No, next I will continue now. Yeah, same phase. If they are out of phase, yeah. Listen. Now we got some idea. Now let us come to the interference now. So interference nothing but it is the modification of some distribution of light energy when two or more waves are superimposed with each other. So write down a point, interference. Start the word interference. Interference. Write down heading. Interference. The modification of distribution of light energy, the modification of distribution of light energy, the modification of distribution of light energy when two or more waves are, when two waves or more waves are superimposed with each other, called as interference. Only introduction only today. In the next class only I will give you good formulas. The modification of light energy when two or more waves are superimposed with each other, called as interference. Now let me do some general thing. Yeah, listen. To get the interference pattern, okay, we need some waves. Two waves or more than two waves. Generally, to get the interference, we are using.
Constructive interface, the amplitude is 2E out.
Next, I will derive. Right now, I didn't derive. No. In a constructive interference, amplitude becomes maximum. In a destructive interference, amplitude becomes
Zero.
minimum. That we will confirm in the next class. Okay. Now, for suppose to get the interference pattern, we are going to use light sources. What type of light sources we will use means we will use two coherent sources. We are going to use two coherent sources. So what are these coherent sources means? These are the light sources which will emit the light with a constant phase or zero phase. Write down coherent sources. Write the heading coherent sources. To get the interference pattern on the screen, we are using coherent sources. Let us see what are the coherent sources. Write down coherent sources. Coherent sources. These are the light sources. These are the light sources which will emit the light. Which will emit the light with 0 or constant phase. These are the light sources which will emit the light with a 0 phase difference, otherwise constant phase difference. Okay, these are the light sources which will emit the light with what? Which will emit the light with 0 phase difference, otherwise constant phase difference. The best example for coherent sources is 2 laser beams, otherwise 2 monochromatic lights, otherwise a pad with 2 narrow holes. Okay, this is the monochromatic source. Okay, like monochromatic source. This is monochromatic. Monochromatic means single wavelength. Okay, if a monochromatic light is incident on 2 pinholes, these are what? You know these pinholes?
Yes, sir.
Pinholes, nothing but very simple. You take a paper, you made it 2 holes, narrow holes. That 2 narrow holes, if you place in front of a monochromatic light, then these 2 pinholes behaves like 2 coherent sources. These 2 pinholes behaves like 2 coherent sources, but these 2 are possible by single monochromatic light, otherwise laser light. So 2 pinholes behaves like a 2 coherent sources. Then these 2, see, according to Huygens principle, this hole behaves like one more source. This hole also behaves like one more source. No doubt. Yeah, tell me.
Nothing, sir, nothing.
These 2 sources behaves like 2 coherent sources which will emit the light with a constant phase difference. Okay, for suppose if you are using 2 different candles, this is one candle, okay, same height, same material, everything same candles. If you place 2 candles side by side, then those 2 candles will emit light. If I place 2 candles like this side by side with some suitable distance, very small, then they will emit light waves. Definitely they will emit light waves with different phase difference. That's why these 2 candles we can call it as incoherent sources. Incoherent sources. Write down the heading, incoherent sources. Incoherent sources. Incoherent sources. Write down heading. These are the sources which will emit the light. These are the sources which will emit the light with. These are the sources which will emit the light with. Tell me, same or different? With different phase difference. With different phase difference. We have one experiment, wait and see. With different phase difference. The best example for incoherent source is 2 candles. And one more question. Car will have some headlights, no? Our car will have 2 headlights. Is the 2 headlights will behave like a coherent sources or incoherent sources?
Coherent sources.
2
Incoherent, sir.
headlights of car is coherent or incoherent? Incoherent. Okay, incoherent. They are individual bulbs, no? Here how these two are taken from monochromatic light. Then these 2 behaves like a coherent sources. The individual headlights of a car, if you place side by side, then that is also not a coherent sources. 2 individual light sources are not coherent. two small holes, two narrow holes placed in front of monochromatic light behaves like a two pinholes. Are you following the pinhole? Yeah, two pinholes placed in front of a light source behaves like a coherent sources, but two individual lights will behave like a coherent sources?
No, sir.
No. Keep in mind, what are the best example for incoherent sources? Candles, headlights of a car. Candles, headlights of a car. Two individual lights cannot be a coherent. So, how to get a coherent source? How to get a coherent source? Tell me basic things today. How to get coherent source? If you take a if it monochromatic light as a laser also possible. Okay, if you take a pad with a narrow hole, then the two narrow holes behaves like a two coherent sources. In this case, we are going to see interference pattern. For example, let me draw one diagram today. Listen. Write down, draw only diagram. No need of explanation for a diagram. YDSE. Remember this name? Young's double slit experiment. Just draw only diagram, otherwise just see the diagram and leave it. No one will ask. Young's double slit experiment. Okay. According to Young's experiment, he used a monochromatic light source. This is the monochromatic light source. Okay. With a narrow hole. Is this a coherent source right now? No. It will emit light waves. And at certain distance, he placed two pinholes. At certain distance, he placed two pinholes. This is one pinhole. This is another pinhole. What about these two pinholes?
Coherent sources.
Yeah, coherent sources. Each and every source will emit. This is a point source. Point source emits spherical wave fronts or cylindrical?
Spherical.
Now let us suppose, let me for understanding point of view, I will draw one crest. Next, what is this? If it is a crest, next automatically? Trough. Next, crest. Next, trough. Listen carefully. Clear? At certain distance he placed the screen. At certain distance he placed the screen. Once this crest or trough strikes the screen number B, this is screen A, this is screen C, then this S1 S2 behaves like what? According to Huygens principle, this S1 S2 behaves like a secondary source of disturbances. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Each point on this wave front behaves like a secondary source of disturbance and produces some more wave fronts in the forward direction.
Yes, sir.
Here S1 behaves like one coherent source, S2 behaves like one more coherent source, which will emit light waves in forward direction. Let me draw only for S1. First crest, because I started crest now. Next, see the diagram, trough. Clear? Next, only for this I am drawing. Clear? Crest. Next, tell me next. This is wave pattern for S1 or S2?
S1.
Yes, one.
Similarly, draw wave pattern for S2. S2, first crest, crest. Next, what I have to draw? Forget all the remaining things. You draw like that. S2. Crest is over. Next, what I have to draw? Trough. Crest, trough. Next, crest. Don't worry. No one will ask in the exam. Next, trough. Next, crest. See, somewhere, this is what? These two lines. Trough of first source, first wave. Trough of second wave. Trough coincide.
Yes, sir.
Crest coincide, trough coincide. If crest trough coincide, if crest of one wave coincide the crest of other wave, or trough of one wave coincide the trough of other wave, then that waves are said to be in. The waves are said to be in constructive interference or destructive interference.
Constructive interference.
See, this is trough, crest, trough. In this part, what type of interference will take place? Constructive. Just you see here, this is the crest of one wave, thick line is there, no crest. The dotted lines, trough of another wave, crest trough. What is this? Crest trough. In this pattern, crest trough means what type of interference will take place? Destructive. See on screen, listen, on screen somewhere constructive interference takes place. Where constructive interference takes place, there a bright band is formed. Bright fringe. Next automatically dark. Okay, next here also dark. Next dark is over, next bright. Next dark, bright. So alternate bright and dark bands are formed on the screen. When bright bands are formed, tell me? When bright bands are formed? Whenever the waves undergo constructive interference, then bright band is obtained on the screen. Whenever destructive interference takes place on the screen, what type of bands you are going to see? Dark band. See, this is the origin. No one will ask this one in the exam. Leave it. Just S. What is this S1, S2? Two coherent sources. You draw crest. Listen how to draw this diagram. Crest, trough. Leave it. Next you draw crest, trough. You draw little bend like this. Next you draw crest, trough. Forget the remaining diagrams. Crest, trough. Finally, somewhere it will be coincide. Where crest, troughs are coincide, there constructive interference takes place. You will get a bright band on the screen. Remaining cases, dark bands on the screen. Not only this target, this is not our target. Our target is where this bright band is formed. What is the gap between this bright to this bright, this dark to this dark? That is our topic in the next class. This is only the introduction, only definition. Is definition is okay? Definition, coherent sources, clear? Incoherent sources?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And yesterday that topic reflection plane wavefront is there, no? That I will send you in a WhatsApp group. Now only you verify it. I will send you now only. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is only for understanding point of view. No one will ask in the exam. Okay? Now let me stop now. Thank you. I will send the copies in a group. You observe it.